Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram,
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji. Pranam Swamiji.
Yes.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Yes.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Tomorrow is Sunday. Day after tomorrow evening, we will try to contact you, meet you all. But day after tomorrow happens to be our Pujya Mataji's 33rd Samadhi Day. So we thought we would dwell upon the inspiring and exemplary life Mataji placed before us, because such remembrance will definitely help us to know how she became the Vishwamata. From an earthly mother for two children, how Pujya Mataji became the mother of all. That expansion of the love circle got hastened after meeting beloved Papa in Kasaragod in 1928. Special days means their Jayanti Day, Samadhi Day, Sannyas Day, connected with the life and lives of Mahatmas. We remember. Maybe we may not be very deep, but at the same time we do remember. And at the time of remembering, we develop a sense of adoration, gratitude. But now we pray to her the past 33 years we have been observing this, in the sense observing this morning or during our satsang time. We used to spend some time more on her life. Though on other days also we try to remember her, especially in ashram. But definitely on those days. But now when we look back, we find there is not much change in us, excepting the satisfaction that we have observed all these 33 years. So this time we will intensely try to explore. No? We try to remember her words, some words. Even after scaling the heights and reaching the spiritual summit, she never sat on a high pedestal, but instead came down as an earthly mother to all, taking care of the worldly as well as spiritual needs of her children. This is something unique. We remember many instances, many instances. When we go there, Mataji does not talk anything about all, or what do you call it, topics which normally we name it as tall talks. But in her own simple way, she might give us a few hints. She will make us to observe how she deals with others. And when we go back to our room, and when we open the book of Guru's grace, or a small book called Krishna by at that time, authored by the Papa himself, we get some facets of her life. The first and foremost that comes up in our mind is, when we first read this Guru's grace, we couldn't understand. In the sense, every para starts with some address to, some way of address to Beloved Papa. And she used to bring the impersonal aspect. Initially when we came to ashram and when we were made known about Papa, Papa Swami Ramdas being addressed by devotees as Papa, we localized that Papa to the form. So when with that background, when we took up reading his Guru's grace, it was very difficult for us at the initial stages to understand. But then as we keep on reading, then we find that Mataji was blessed with both the Nirguna and Saguna aspect in Papa, and she placed it before us. Not only the Nirguna aspect, but also the Saguna aspect in the form of addressing Papa. But not, in order to ensure that we don't get stuck up only to the external Papa, she was bringing in every chapter, every chapter, yes, religiously she addresses. My all compassionate Papa, like that, my all pervading Papa, like that, and then when we started reading and trying to understand what she wanted to convey, just like in the IQG in-depth study we find, every time Papa bringing Ram, in Guru's grace we find Mataji bringing Papa. In every chapter, many number of times. We also understood later that she got permission from Papa to use the word Papa for the indwelling and all-pervading reality. Until we read that, it was not very clear. So the common thread that we find in IQG and Guru's grace is that every chapter reminds us of the constant remembrance of God. In Papa's case, it was named as Ram. In Mataji's case, it was named as Papa. But in Papa's case, we have never seen Papa giving importance or highlighting or clarifying about the personal aspect of Ram. To him, everybody was the form of Ram. But in Mataji's case, Papa was also this Papa. One of the quotations, that especially after the Mahasamadhi, when she wrote in the September version, issue of 1963, omnipresent Papa's ashram is the whole universe. To know that, he has set up this Ananda ashram. As devotees, as spiritual children of Mataji, this is the one statement which should be imprinted in our heart. Not to contract to me and mine, but to expand it to the entire creation. Mentally, at least now. We may not be able to reach that stage, but mentally or intellectually we will try to expand ourselves. Omnipresent Papa's ashram is the whole universe. To know that he has set up this Ananda ashram means what? You and I, who have been blessed with the association of Ananda ashram, are to constantly remind about the all-pervading reality. Not even to localize our, object of interest, object of subservience, object of attachment to Ananda ashram even. Because Ananda ashram is the place from where we try to understand that God, Papa's, omnipresent Papa's, ashram is the whole universe. There are many, many such small words which gives us profound ideas, food for thought, aid for our sadhana, and every time we can find out we belong to which category. We would not have scaled the heights, but are we developing an attitude of expansion? And many of you might have noticed there is a chapter called Inner Expansion, where she lists how many of our normal acts, how we can widen. So the thrust of Mataji's whole life and teaching is to expand, expand, expand. That is why whenever she saw any pettiness on the part of devotees or aspirants, she would not leave. She would take them to severe tasks. Everything she will forgive, but not pettiness. In one of her quotations she said, when you see greatness in others, the same greatness is in yourself. When you see pettiness in others, the same pettiness is in yourself. So day after tomorrow is her 33rd Samadhi day. We will be meeting only in the evening. So we thought we would remember her now itself intensely, and through some of her words, and those of us who have been blessed with the darshan of her, so many things, we will be able to recollect, to keep it aflame, Just like the smoke pipe we used to do for when we do the cooking. Whenever the fire is likely to be extinguished, in order to keep it aflame, we used to do this foo-foo. No? Similarly, on these occasions, we will try to remember her to come up with wisdom teaching without referring to text. Because when we do that, how can we do that? We should remember our association with her and not for personal attachment, and how she was the mother of all. No? And pray to her deeply. Now she is in the form of remembrance in our heart. The moment we close, we can bring her before our mental vision, give us Ashtanga Pranam, catch hold of her holy feet, and then pray to her. We have been struggling, we have been pining, we have been trying our level best to live up to your teachings. We know we have not risen up much. But now that you are there in our heart, why don't you please touch and kindle and guide us? The moment we come to know that you are there, we will not have any pettiness in our heart. Because immediately we are reminded, Mataji will take us to task. So the easy way is, we used to tell our friends, in Anand Ashram we sit on the top of that wall. There is Pujya Mataji's photo. So we are always reminded, especially when somebody takes leave, whether we have given prasad or not. Mataji gave a lot of importance for that. Because in simple words she said, it is not the eatable that you are giving, She said everyone coming to home should feel quite at home. Everyone coming to ashram should feel quite at home. So when they leave one's own home, the mother will not simply send him away. Something will be given. Every time when those of us who have the privilege of going to ashram, and have been blessed with taking prasad from her holy hand, the feeling that developed at that particular moment is something indescribable. We also remember when we get down at the Kanjanghat station and get into an auto or a taxi to reach ashram, how excited we will be to meet her first. Immediately after getting down at the flag post, the inner thing will be galloping up, as it were, as we move towards the room. Something inexplicable, just to have the darshan. In our case, she will talk to us in Malayalam. Eppo vannu, in that Konkani accented Malayalam, when she asked the whole pure affection pouring on us. So we are today remembering all those things. With a prayer to her, kindly enable us to widen our love circle. We would not have come up to what is expected of us. We know that. But when we remember you, we always place it as our ideal target. The word which you use is very difficult for us to scale. She said, you should have the same attitude. You check up whether you have the same attitude to a stranger on the street and to your own kith and kin on the same lines. Though it would not have been possible for many of us to reach that stage, but it is still there as an ideal to be translated into our life. Everybody will have so many things to talk about her. But at the same time, she took us to task, She was not satisfied by simply telling that you are right. She doesn't like all those things, in fact. One of her main complaints, if we can locate it and try, these words worth remembering. I will be truly and really happy only when your minds turn to Papa. You may be doing a lot of service with your body. You may be spending a lot of money to come and stay here, and so on. But it is of no avail if you do not allow your mind to go to Papa. It is like coming to the ashram gate, taking a whiff of the fragrance of the flowers within, and then turning your back on ashram and going back. You are now standing outside the gates of the house of Papa. Our body is the house of Papa. Papa stands in front of Guru. So this is the house, Bhoga Ayatanam. God has given this Bhoga Ayatanam for our living, residence. Ayatanam means residence. So here Mataji says, you are now standing outside the gate in the house of Papa. You shower rich compliments and praises on Papa, and then turn back, without bothering to enter the gate and experiencing yourself the bliss of Papa. See the way in which she presents a profound theory in a simple language which we can understand. We go to a house of an adorable person. We don't enter. We simply, praise and go back. We shower our compliments, that's all. As if somebody is waiting for our certification. And what will the adorable person feel? You have taken all the pains to go there. You are standing on the gate, and then you say, such a wonderful person you are. All those things we say, and then we go back. This is something which we can easily understand. So she says, we have read about Mahatmas, we have read about the indwelling reality, the Atman, the all-pervading reality, Atman. We do Ramnam, we do this, we do that, we do bhajan, we have gone to this place, that place. But have we bothered to enter into the residence to meet him? The main reason you are scared to enter the gates of Papa's mansion is because outside lies your world of I and mine, and you are scared that if you enter the gate, that is, if you turn your mind towards Papa, you would end up losing your world that you have so far hugged as yours. You do not realize But far from losing your little world, you actually stand to gain the entire universe when you realize Papa. Where then is the question of your losing anything? Whatever that is contained in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, whatever that is contained in the Upanishads, whatever that is contained in all Prakarana Granthas, whatever that is given out to us by various Mahatmas at various times, Mataji has put it in a language which we can understand. I will read it again. No? On the 33rd Mahasamadhi day, if we keep on remembering these words and trying to travel along with the theme, and then pray from the bottom of the heart to make us to live up to it, then we can say we have observed the Samadhi day, at least to a very small percentage. Unless we live up to it, no. But at least we should understand it, no? I will be truly, Mataji says, I will be truly and really happy only when your minds turn to Papa. You may be doing a lot of service with your body. You may be spending a lot of money to come and stay here and so on. But it is of no avail if you do not allow your mind to go to Papa. You must remember, indwelling and all-pervading reality. It is like coming to the ashram gates, taking a whiff of the fragrance of the flowers within, and then turning your back on ashram and going back. Exactly this is what we have been doing. Only by going through Papa's teachings or Mahatma's teachings, and we take it that ashram is a place where all the practice can be stimulated or tried with all good intentions. Because in our own place we are fully preoccupied with commitments, duties, responsibilities, this and that. So we don't get any leisure at all. So in ashram all facilities are there, everything is taken care of. Nobody has to bother about the maintenance of the household. Everybody is free from the professional obligations, social obligations. The entire time can be utilized for remembering him through their wisdom teachings. But have we done? That's the goal, man. You are now standing outside the gates of the house of Papa. You shower rich compliments and praises on Papa, and then turn back without bothering to enter the gate and experiencing yourself the bliss of Papa. The fullness which is inside, the awareness which is inside, the life force which is inside, the intelligent absolute that is within us, the love for all that is within us, the quality, care and concern for all creation is also within us. Mataji is pointing out this. Without bothering to enter the gates and experience yours, that is the bliss of Papa. Broadening the vision, widening the vision, enveloping the whole creation. Mentally we can do it now. When we are in the aircraft, when we look down, we see how, to what extent our eyes can reach, mind can reach. But when we are sitting here, only 10 feet or 25 feet we can go. So when we rise higher and higher, our vision gets widened. So have we lifted ourselves from the individual level to a little more higher level, a little more higher level. And are we targeting that the highest level should be scaled? These are all the things Mataji is reminding us. You are now standing outside the gates of the house of Papa. House of Papa means our body. Each one should think this is the house of Papa. God is seated within, and the outer body is the ayatanam, is the residence. Mind and intellect, the pranas and the sense of five senses organs, they are all instruments. Panchaprana manobuddhi dashendriya samanvitam apanchikrita bhudoham sukshmangam yoga sadhanam. The first one was Panchindriya Mahabhutam Sambhavam Karma Sanchidam Shariram Sukhadukkana Yoga Ayatanam Uchyate. The husband of experience, the instrument of experience. But he is still inside. No? Upadhi Trivayamanyam Atmanam Avadhare. No? Beyond that there is a Karana Sharira, causal body, and behind that he is there. So we are now just standing outside the gates of this. And then somebody said something, okay, we also repeat something, and then we go back. This is what Mataji points out to us. You are now standing outside the gates of the house of Papa. You shower rich compliments and praises on Papa, and then turn back without bothering to enter the gates and experiencing yourself the bliss of Papa. And she points out why. The main reason you are scared to enter the gates of Papa's mansion is because outside lies your world of I and mind, and you are scared that if you enter the gate, that is, if you turn your mind towards Papa, you would end up losing your world that you have so far hugged as yours. The sense of individuality is so powerful in us, so dominating in us. It is not permitting us to go or raise ourselves beyond its level. Somehow, there is a down-pulling force. Whenever with all intentions, due to Satsang, due to Darshan, due to associating ourselves with the noble thoughts, whenever the mind is getting elevated to a sattvic stage, in the shortest possible time, you can find mysteriously it is brought back to the individual level. This is what Mataji points out. The I and mind, I and mind, I and mind. The main reason you are scared to enter the gates of Papa's mansion is because if you enter the gates, that is, if you turn your minds to Papa, you would end up losing your world that you are so far hugged as yours. You do not realize that far from losing your little world, you actually stand to gain the entire universe when you realize it. Where then is the question of your losing anything? We can all understand, Mataji, we become the whole proprietor of the whole world. Then I don't have to bother about my small house, my small possession, my small site. We can understand. I become the owner of the entire world. Whereas now I am the owner of a few possessions. But somehow the pull of the petty possession is so strong that it denies us to own the entire universe. And this is what is named as pettiness by Mataji. So in our daily life, suppose we try to widen the love circle, Mataji would be happy. We may not be able to take 150 kilometers per hour speed, but 10-20, we cannot try. And she would be very happy. So on the 33rd Mahasamadhi day, on the 7th of this month, we will all try to think about it very deeply. Even though many of us may be in our evenings of life, still, whatever is possible can be done. This is the resolve we make mentally. And pray to her now. Give us the needed impetus, push to live up to, at least to some extent, of what you expect us to be. Your mind will turn to Papa only when you take his name, sit for bhajan, and acquire a love for listening to bhajan. There she was addressing to the ashramis. But here nobody sits for bhajan unless I go and sit there. No? Somehow, we get into the attachment to the person of the. We hardly hear what they say. And that is what happened. So that's why she was observing. But if here nobody sits for bhajan unless I go first and sit there. If I attend Ramnam or bhajan session, everybody follows me. If everyone here were to take up some responsibility of the various activities of the ashram, considering the ashram as your own, ashram would run smoothly. But how many are anxious to assume that their responsibility? This is the one unique characteristic of Mataji. Though she stayed the heights and knew that everything is happening only by God's will, she did not remain there, no? But she came down to her earthly mother's place and then observing and pointing out the inadequacies and insufficiencies in us. That is something unique. She will not quote any scriptures. She will not bring anything, but she will directly go to the point. Pujya Swamiji used to share with us a lot of such experiences where how she will minutely observe the behavior of devotees and how she will take them into task whenever the pettiness is expressing itself through their behavior. So there are two sides. So this, on this day we all remember this and pray to her. No? Pujya Swamiji used to say like this: some devotees would be the recipients of Mataji's scolding and admonition, leading them to frustration even. However, they later understood that all these came out of a heart of gold, a heart which pined day and night for the supreme good of everybody, a heart that was never at rest until signs of spiritual progress were seen in all, a heart that was aching at the sufferings of others, and much more so when the seekers on the path of God realization did not run or walk fast and straight to the goal, but lingered, holding on to petty, perishable things of the world. We still remember how these words came out of the pen for a message from Pujya Swamiji when he took the writing pad, and these words just came out like that. Very touching. Some devotees would be recipients of Mataji's scolding and admonition, leading them to frustration. However, they later understood that all these came out of a heart of gold, a heart which pined day and night for the supreme good of everybody, a heart that was never at rest until signs of spiritual progress were seen in all, a heart that was aching at the sufferings of others, and much more so when the seekers on the path of God realization did not run or walk fast and straight to the goal, but lingered holding on to the petty, perishable things of the world. This portrayal of Pujya Mataji, that is enough for us. If we are in a position to have this word picture stamped on our heart, though whenever we go off the line, whenever we slip, whenever we fail, we know she is there watching us. It is difficult, Mataji, to live up to what you say fully, but we will try. This sort of attitude will develop in us. But for that, this word picture has to get imprinted in our heart. It has come out from a similar heart. That is why it is so touching. So with a heart full of gratitude, we remember her. We will also remember the words of Param Pujya Papa. That Mataji is the Adhisthana Devata of this ashram. Papa used to always say that she is the Guru. And he will ensure that she does not hear it, because immediately Mataji will come and take him into task. You can never find out the particular word she does not bring Papa into the picture. When somebody asks, you say, you go to Papa. You only can give, I cannot give. And she will show her hand like this. This is Papa, this cannot give, the other side. Always remember. She prayed to Papa that you should not make me a Guru. That much of total effacement, self-effacement. So these are some of the thoughts that welled up in our heart on the eve of Pujya Mataji's 33rd Mahasamadhi Day. 12th December 1989, she dropped the body. She only dropped the body. She is with us, has been with us, in spite of her shortcomings. As a mother to us, she has been with us. So again, we mentally bring her into our vision. Prostrate and at her holy feet and pray to her. Instead of simply sitting inside, you should pull me up and put me on the rails whenever I go off the track. Please step out, holding your hand, holding my hand, and lead me, guide me to the goal which you have set for me. Hari Om. Yes, anybody would like to share anything?
Swamiji, Hari Om, you will be explaining the infinite expansion again.
infinite expansion. Page number 16 of in there. Pranam, normally when we do pranam only to an individual. She says, "O kind and incarnate Papa, do grant me the power to describe comprehensively how you made me your child and enabled me to surrender all actions performed by my body, which is really your own body, made up of its components and organs and other parts to you. Even when I was just born in your creation, you caused me to lay my head on Mother Earth, which meant on your holy feet." These are the words, then only we can see the all-pervading reality when she said, "Papa." Even when I was just born in your creation, you caused me to lay my head on Mother Earth, which meant on your holy feet. O kind and loving Papa, by your limitless grace, you became both my mother and father, and I took refuge in them, who were to me like your two holy feet, and therefrom in all my relatives and friends. O compassionate Papa, a very para, no? As he said in IQG, where Papa brings the name of Ram umpteen numbers of times, Clearly you find umpteen numbers of times, Papa, Papa, Papa. O compassionate Papa, as my mother and father, you taught me to bow not only at their feet, but also at the feet of Gurus. O infinite Papa, after I got married at the age of 12 years and 3 months, you inspired me to bow first before all my elders and then before my husband and his elderly devotees. You see how it expands. First father and mother, then all Mahatmas, then husband, then the elders of the husband's family. Then, in this way you enhanced my attitude of reverence, causing it to pervade a widening sphere. O compassion personified Papa, expanding my devotional vision thus, you at last brought me to the place where you lived. By your darshan, my adoration rose still higher, and I felt no satisfaction, even though I placed my head on your feet repeatedly several times. So much so, when once my head touched your feet, I did not like to remove it from there. As I was not satisfied by my pranams at your feet, you told me, Ram pervades all animate and inanimate creations, so cultivate respect for all beings and things alike. By thus instructing me, you absorbed me into your infinite and omnipresent being. It was only then that I was completely satisfied. So pranams to offering namaskar to one individual, how gradually that widening circle and finally became established in loving the entire creation, serving the entire creation, respecting the entire creation. Like that, she says about darshan, vision, about shravana, about grana, about pana, about eating, about seva, about asana, about movement. At the end of each of these activities, she will explain in the same way how in chronological order she will explain how the widening, because of paucity of time, I will read out the last portion in everything. So this is about darshan. O Papa, the lover of the humble, at last you brought me to your holy presence. From that day my eyes were never tired of seeing you. The very sight of you would cause to well up in my heart rare joy and ecstasy. When I was not satisfied thus, you asked me to develop the vision of beholding all beings with love and respect, since Ram is manifested as the entire universe. Having admonished me thus, you gave me the experience of my oneness with your infinite being. Then only I became contented. Shravana. I heard with great eagerness your words saturated with love. Nevertheless, I did not feel satisfied by hearing your voice, advising me to take all the words that are uttered as mantras and praises of Ram. You granted me the realization of your eternal being. It was now that I was fully satisfied. Then Grana. O infinite Papa, in this manner, having expanded the sphere of my smelling power, you called me to your feet. Here I smelled your lover of devotees over and over again, and the radiant flowers offered at your feet, and the tirtha obtained by washing your feet, yet I was not satisfied. Then you explained me that whatever I smelled was the fragrance of the offering laid at Ram's holy feet. Thereby you granted me the knowledge of your immortal existence. It was now only that I was satisfied. Pana. O all-pervading Papa, as I went on drinking the tirtha, my devotion became more and more intense, with the consequence that you drew me to yourself. Having been attracted to you, I was never satisfied, satiated by drinking the tirtha of your feet. I would take jugs after jugs of it. At last you taught me that whatever I drank was tirtha itself. Thus, having absorbed me into your imperishable being, you totally quenched my thirst for eating. O kindness incarnate Papa, then at last by your will I came to you and ate your prasad with great zest and craved more and more of it without being appeased. Seeing this, you advised me that whatever I ate was Ram's prasad. In this way, attuning my life with your immortal radiance, you cast off my covetousness for prasad. Seva. O compassionate Papa, thus extending the sphere of my service with my hand, you brought me at last into your presence. Here, when serving you, you granted me unbounded joy, and I was never satisfied however much I used my hands in your service in saluting you. Then you advised me that whatever work I did with my hands should be taken as Ram's service and worship. You took me then into your all-pervading being, gave me perfect satisfaction. Asana. O all-pervading Papa, at last by your unbounded grace, you drew me to your presence. Even here, while you were giving me the Guru Mantra, I sat before you in all humility and respect, but I was not satisfied however long I sat at your feet. Seeing this, you advised me that wherever I sat, I should consider that I was sitting in the presence of Ram. Giving me this experience, you merged me into your immutable existence, giving me thereby complete satisfaction. And finally, chalana or movement. O Papa, the lover of the humble, I walked hither and thither, in and out, to serve you in the form of all Mahatmas. However much I engaged myself in your service, involving a great deal of running about here and there, I never felt tired. I did pradakshina of you many times, yet I was not satisfied. In the end, you taught me that wherever I moved about, it was the pradakshina of God. And then you absorbed me in your eternal being, granting me peace and contentment. So like that, Mataji was giving us, when she was writing this, how from a small level, how it began to the infinite level, from the limited to the unlimited or illimitable. How the journey took place in a very short narrative. She brings it out, ultimately to make us know that whatever we think, whatever we do, whatever we talk, wherever we are, we have to keep on this constant remembrance. So, dwelling on her life and teachings will surely help us. Even it has helped us to move one degree, no? Out of 100, 1 degree. It is worth it. So let us all pray to her. To the animate and inanimate things. Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. Nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. So we are praying, why please enable us to live up to these 6 statements. Because everything is your form. So if I disrespect, if I ignore, if I offend any form, it will rebound on me. You said in so many words. When you hurt somebody, when you think ill of somebody, you are hurting Papa, no? We did not realize that. Because in Vyavahara, we forget about all these things and develop all those tendencies based upon our rights and wrongs and likes and dislikes. And we just react. Though we claim ourselves to be the spiritual children of you. We know that you will not like this. But unfortunately, we are unable to control these emotions. So now we, on this 33rd Mahasamadhi day, we are praying to you. Please, immediately you step out and stop our failings, our slips, and take us unto yourself. Anything else?
Swamiji, can I ask? Papa and Ram is same, no? Papa and Ram is same, no? Same.
Papa described Ram as a mysterious force. Mataji described Papa as the same. But because it was touched and kindled and made known through that form Papa, she also brought that form out equally. Unfortunately, we did not see beyond that form.
No, because I call everyone.
We are reversed toward that form. Pardon?
I call every time Papa only. I don't remember Ramna full. I call Papa only.
The very word she says, the first one I just now read out.
Yes, Swamiji.
First one. Even when I was just born in your creation, you caused me to lay my head on Mother Earth, which meant on your holy feet. That clarifies, it was not limited.
She only told Swamiji, Mataji only told us, there is no need to say full Ramna, you just call Papa. It is more than enough. Really, I am very touched today. Hari Om Swamiji.
Thank you, Swamiji. As many times we read this particular chapter in Guru's grace, it is very, very touching and takes us to a different place.
Monday, and by the time, let us see whether Mataji comes with something more to share with you all. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram